Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series in the Moonshiner Racing League. And tonight, Darlington Raceway for the throwback race of the season. If it's Darlington, it's got to be a throwback. Well, glad to have y'all here tonight. Excited to be here. One of my favorite tracks. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little scary if you're out on track, but for us watching, it's going to be a blast. I'm Eddie Smith. Tonight, got a lot going for us here. We're calling this race the Ram 200, and that's what a lot of these guys are going to do to that outside wall of turn 2 and turn 4, maybe even the inside wall. It's going to be wild, so strap in. Let's have a good one. Let's take a look at the schedule, see what everybody, where we've been, where we're going. We're right in the middle of the regular season, right there in the second row there in the middle. Darlington. We got stages of 45, 90, and 147, so 147 laps here at Darlington. That's about the right amount, I would say. Then we got North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race next week. That'll be a lot of fun. Charlotte, the Gateway, Sonoma, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nashville Super Speed. That's a tough stretch of tracks. Luckily, we're not having to deal with the summer heat in those tracks. That'd be pretty tough. But a good stretch of tracks until we get down towards the end, and if you're not in the playoff hunt, if you're not trying to get in to that round of 16, if you're not already locked in, what are you doing? You better get with it. Take a look at your point standings. Who is locked in at the moment? That's Matt Cox, and Alex Coffey not locked in, but he is sitting atop the point standings, tied for that top spot. Randy Mullins just 6 points back. These three have been incredible all season long. Then you got Kyle Holden with those 2 wins, Paul Gallimore with 2 wins, Kenny Coppola, who was out the last couple weeks with a hand injury. He is still, though, locked in, just dropping down the standings as he continues to miss races. Brandon Bikey got that win last week. He sits 13th in the point standings, but he's locked into the playoffs. What a relief that was to make that happen, and he sure did it. I mean, just knocked it out of the park last week. Incredible race all around. If you did not watch that race, please go back and watch that one. That was crazy at Kansas Speedway. But tonight we're at Darlington. You know it, you love it, you hate it if you race on it sometimes, but you look there, 1.36 miles in Darlington, South Carolina. The banking there, it's a little wild because it's all over the place. You see the turns, just how different they are, and that's the beauty of it. You cannot sleep for a minute. You take 1 second, your eyes off the screen for 1 second. If you cough, you turn, you sneeze, you're in trouble because Darlington will spit you out in a heartbeat. And these guys are going to have to be locked in for all 147 laps if they plan on winning this race. Well, qualifying is just about over. We do have some folks that have yet to make their laps. And you know what? We'll kind of jump in there and see what qualifying is looking like, as we got a couple folks that have yet to make their qualifying attempt. Now, you will notice a lot of throwbacks here tonight. We got a Bill Elliott scheme here on Jeffrey Taylor's. As he comes out, man, ooh, he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff coming out of pit road. Right up against that wall. Let's go on board. Let's watch what it's like a qualifying lap at Darlington. On board, Jeffrey Taylor. Cutting down into the apron. Right back on the throttle as soon as you possibly can. Be careful on iRacing. You can't touch the wall. If you get even a 0x, a little small incident, just the lightest tap will invalidate your lap time. So he's going to have to be careful here. 3 and 4, scary. Gets tighter, a lot slower and a lot tighter of a corner. You have to be careful coming off the corner here. So far, so good for Jeffrey. We'll see where his first lap takes him. And that's good enough for 10th spot at the moment. That's a pretty good first lap. I don't think we'll see that second lap improve upon that first lap. He's going to see he gets loose there off of turn 2. So close call there. We'll watch him, though, as he completes his second lap. As right now, Shane Davis atop the atop the qualifying order. Jeffrey Taylor comes off of turn 4. And he does not improve upon his lap time. on track. Now I love this scheme. This red dog scheme is one of my favorites, and Chris Davis has it here tonight. We're going to take a look at all the schemes. I don't know them all, so I won't get all the references. They did post a few of them in the Discord, so we'll try to shout out who exactly they are for, but this red dog scheme is just one of my favorites, and he put it on a Toyota. It hurts my heart, but got to run what he run. Look at it, right up against the walls. It cut down off of 2. That's the moneymaker all night. You got to get off turn 2 just right. Now, turns 3 and 4 will really depend on how your car is handling, where you are in the run. You see he kind of runs around the bottom, lets it drift up. You can run the top, you can run the bottom in 3 and 4. It really doesn't matter. He's going to cross the line. We'll see where Chris Davis jumps up to 13th spot as he finishes his qualifying run. And so far, looks like a majority of the drivers have run their qualifying times. I don't see anybody else on track, so they got about a minute and a half. So we'll see if anybody decides to jump out on the track and throw a lap down. But Chris Davis, good enough for that 13th position. Right now, it's Shane Davis, Brian Johnson, Brandon Fetterplace. A lot of drivers put their stamp on this track early on. Getting that track position is really important. Alex Coffey, Paul Gallimore, Hunter Carmichael, Barry Sanders, Randy Mullins, Brandon Bikey, and Sean Rogers are your top 10 at the moment. So we still got about a minute, and the guys in the back have yet to, or the ones that have not qualified, have yet to jump out on track. So we'll kind of let this thing die down and talk a little bit about what happened last season. Shane Davis was on the pole last season as well, so it hasn't changed much. He's going to start on the pole, and he actually was able to win the race. Now, he did trade stages with Kenny Coppola, and Kenny not going to be here tonight, so Shane has got the opportunity to really take control of this race, and you can start off from the pole. You can win all the stages. You just got to make sure you make all the right pit strategy calls and be up at the front when it really counts right at the end. Last year, they had 6 cautions, 8 lead changes, a very caution-free race. I love that. And that's one thing I like about Darlington is just the fact that it's hard for caution to come out unless you wreck into the racing line. It really clears itself out. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens here tonight. It also can really get packed in there quickly because there's really nowhere to go. You see how narrow that groove is these guys will be driving in. So it should be, I mean, Darlington's just great. Darlington, Dover, you put those 2 tracks on put it on a schedule. Darlington, Dover, back and forth, maybe Kansas, and hey, I'm all aboard. But let's take a look at your grid and see where everybody gonna start here tonight. On the front row, Shane Davis got another pole with Brian Johnson there on the outside in that number 44 machine. Row number 2 is going to be Brandon Fetterplace and Alex Coffey in 4th. In 5th, Paul Gallimore with Hunter Carmichael in that 6th position. 7th, going to be Barry Sanders in that 88 machine with Randy Mullins. Oh boy, I can already tell I love that 54 machine already. I'm easy to please. 9th, going to be Brandon Bikey, Sean Rogers in 10th. 11th, Jeffrey Taylor with Matt Cox in 12th. 13th, Chris Davis with Tim Wortman Jr. in that 14th position. 15th, Caden Norfrey with Stephen Gibson in 16th. 17th, Blaine Wilson, Kyle Holden in 18th. 19th is Sean Kaltenbach and Darren Mills in 20th. 21st, Paul Whitley with Nick King in 22nd. 23rd is Wayne Bowen, Chris Spear in 24th. 25th, Shane Parrish, Nigel Christensen in 26th. 27th, Garrett Crawford, Jordan Schmeets in 28th. 29th, Casey Ryback, Ed Bulls Jr. in 30th. 31st, Jamison Middlemiss, Johnny Shade in 32nd. 33rd is Chad Sullivan, Justin Belmont in 34th. 35th, Aaron Matthews and John Bender in 36th. 37th, Warren Young, Matt Mackin in 38th. 39th, Derek Pemberton, Jared Clark in 40th. 41st is Dean Motley with Matt Metler in the 42nd position, and that will round out your grid. Well, I'm ready to get this thing rolling. I'll tell you that. I cannot wait you know, Darlington is just hard to explain what it means, all the history. It's got everything you love about a track all packed into one. It requires you to be the best driver. It requires you to focus near 100% of the time. You cannot lose focus one bit and get around this track successfully. It requires consistency that is unmatched. I mean, the corner is so different. The car handles so, you have to stay ahead of the changes in the track. I mean, just so many things you have to think about in this track. Man, I tell you, it will put you to the test. Take a look at your race analysis as they get ready to take the one to go. We'll go green right after this. 147 laps here tonight, 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. You're going to have to get down on pit road. Some people dive down to the apron early. Some people drive down off of the banking. Depending on what you want to do, how safe, it's going to come at you quick. You're going to have to get down to pit road speed quickly. 6 tire sets total, 1 green-white checkered attempt, no fast repair, which is a big one. 100% fuel load, stages, lap 45 and 90, and fuel run. I just typed LOL. Because I don't think fuel is going to be considered at all. It's going to be all about tires, and these stages are going to be short enough that I don't even think you'll get to a fuel run. We'll see if that plays a factor, but I don't think we'll see a fuel run here tonight. But I don't mind being wrong. It has happened plenty of times before. We'll take a look at who we have here on cameras. As we get ready to go green, we've got Brandon Bikey there. We got Jeff Taylor, Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman Jr., Kyle Holden, and Chris Spear on cams tonight. So we definitely appreciate those folks for showing what they got going on, man. It's cool to see, put a face to name, and sometimes get a little bit of emotion. You're not going to get any out of Tim Wortman Jr., but other drivers, you might see a little bit of emotion, a little bit of frustration, excitement, especially if they win the race. All right, getting ready to go green. Boy, I cannot wait. It's going to be a mess. I don't know. We'll see if we can make it a lap. It's going to be tough. But here we go. Darlington, the Ram 200. Here in the Moonshiners Racing League, the OB Builders Cup Series. Barney's got the green flag in hand. Darlington, y'all better get ready. This is going to be a wild one. And green flag is out. Man, I had to be quiet for that first lap as, man, look how great those cars look going around this track. But Brian Johnson early on in this thing going to take the lead away from Shane Davis. And, I mean, right now it's all about positioning yourself to have some good track position. You want to be... Oh, somebody is going around. Big wreck back here. Here's the track blocker. Early in this race, Nick King has gone around. And I believe, I don't know who it was. It might have been Steven Gibson. Let's go back and see if we can find out, man, what happened there. That was wild. It kind of happened back behind here, I believe. On board with Steven Gibson here. And, yeah, he's going to make contact. A little like with Kyle Holden. Kyle Holden goes spinning down to the inside, and then it's just this calamity back here. Nick King and the two of Darren Mills all involved. And you see they continue to pile in as cars come across the track. A lot of beautiful paint schemes are in big, big trouble. See, we made it 3 laps, but there it is, Darlington. Man, bummer for some of these drivers, except for Kyle Holden, who looks like he kind of got away with one there. It looks like he just going to try to take a position here early. Got a nice run. Gassed it up, but yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for trying to take the spot. It just looked like it just closed up so quickly that he didn't have an opportunity. So, coming down pit road to maybe get some damage fixed or any repairs. But up front, Brian Johnson did take the early lead. And this particular track, if you're not starting up front, you got a lot you got to work on here. And it's going to be a slow burn. You really have to take your time and not push the issue too early. I mean, Kyle Holden, I felt like had a pretty good run there. I don't really think he did anything wrong. I don't think either one of them did. But, I think he felt like he had a pretty good run, was trying to make the pass off the corner, which is what you need to do. You'll see a lot of folks here tonight try to make passes into the corner. We saw on Sunday that that's not always going to be the right choice, especially down on the inside. So if you can, you want to time that run through the middle of the corner when you're feathering that throttle to get the run off the corner and get beside them early down the straightaway. And if you can, try to get a nose ahead going into the corner, or you're really going to struggle to make that pass. So it's all about patience, being able to take your time, work a guy over, and make the pass when either they make a mistake or you can get the run off the corner. Making a pass into the corner is going to be definitely treacherous, although some guys will be successful at it. We'll see who's able to get it done. I think towards the end of this race, you got to throw a Hail Mary or two. But, big thing is just keeping that car clean. We know all about Darlington and what the Darlington stripe and all that type of stuff. These cars in iRacing, they do a good job of not getting too much damage. So I think, a little bit of contact's okay. You just got to watch the exits of 2 and 4. They come at you quick, and you can really just demolish the right side of a car or the guy running next to you. So got to take care of that car. Got to make it to that final stage, and then if you got something for them, real let loose at that point. But we'll see who can get it done. Right now, Brian Johnson will have control of the restart. We'll get this thing back going. I don't think we're done wrecking for a while until the field kind of spreads out just a little bit, or we thin it out, which we've already thinned out just a few of them. But here we go. Brian Johnson into the Geico restart zone, getting ready to go green. And there it is, green flag, back out. Johnson with a nice jump. They go side by side into turn 1 and 2. Coming off the corner, all fighting for that outside line. Early on in the run, that inside does feel pretty nice. You'll have a lot of turn in that car. It's as the run goes on, it becomes a one-line track very, very quickly. And you see Brandon Bikey up there on the outside, really making some hay on the outside of, I believe that's, made a little contact with Paul Gallimore. See some really cool paint schemes right there as Brandon's going to go door to door with that number 11 Pepsi scheme. And then right behind him, you got Randy Mullins in that Valvoline. Boy, I do love Valvoline. If you put Valvoline on and Tide, you're going to get some screen time here on V-Speed, because there is no better feast to the eyes than that red, white, and blue of Valvoline. And right now he is trying to hold steady inside the top 10. He's even got the red rims and everything. Boy, that's good looking. If you don't like that, something's wrong with you. But beautiful paint schemes, and we'll see all those all night. Brandon Bikey still has the same old paint scheme, but he's making it work. Look at him on the outside. Trying to make it's going to get a little bit loose, and what a save out of Brandon Bikey. That could have been really bad as he got extremely loose and able to save it. I don't think you'll be able to do that very, very long. So got a battle for the lead as Shane now looking down to the inside of Brian Johnson, who led for just a few laps, and now Shane looking to take over the spot. And you will see immediately, look at Alex Coffey able to run up on the back of these guys as Shane not able to make the bottom side work. As we get into lap number 10 of this run, and you'll watch and see that this becomes a one-line track almost immediately as these guys fight for the same line. There's just not enough real estate to run side by side outside of the first 3, 4, 5 laps. Now everybody is going to be fighting. Let's go on board with Shane Davis. Right down under the apron. Punch it. Go right up to the wall to get that angle. Kind of feather the throttle here. Get back on the throttle. As soon as you feel like you can make the exit without hitting the wall, get the run down the straightaway. Now you can pick 2 lines, right around the bottom or up at the top. Whatever one you want to do. The bottom works good early. The top will be faster later on. Man, we look at this mess. I'm trying to talk about stuff, and right behind them, we've got a cluster of drivers all over the place. I thought they were almost 3 wide at one point, as looks like one driver, Hunter Carmichael, kind of blinking out a little bit in that Bud number 3. Now, I'm seeing them from a distance. They may have a different sponsor name on them, but I'm going to call them what the actual sponsor is unless I see different. So it may not say Budweiser on it. But everybody single file. But yeah, in 3 and 4, you can really choose the top or the bottom. I think as you move on through the run, entering in high on the in turn 3, I think will be sort of the play. But it just depends on how your car is set up, what you like to run. That bottom works pretty good for a while too. But if you're not running that bottom to top line in 1 and 2, you're in big, big trouble. It's just not a way to make it happen. See Alex Coffey working that outside tire wear will be a massive, massive thing here tonight. We will see sharp drop-offs from the tires as that turn 1, you're almost driving down in there and just lifting a little bit, and then you're stomping the throttle, trying to carry as much speed through that long turn as you can. And as the tires start to wear, especially that right front, you're able to do that less and less, and the time really drops off as that turn 1 and 2 speed is really important for fast lap time. Shane Davis really trying to take this lead back, but you can see how important it is for track position. Not quite able to make the bottom work at the moment. 14 laps in, starting to feel it. You see he's running right in the tire track, so Brian Johnson gets the run again. He's going to try for it. Got to get off turn 2. He's got to get beside him. That outside line's been working pretty good. He's going to drive it deep into 3 and 4. He does have him cleared and just drives right on by. So that was a perfectly executed pass by Shane Davis. If you want to know how to pass at Darlington, rewind this and watch exactly what he did. He got a run. He didn't try anything crazy. He actually let him go into turn 1 and then drove up behind him, got a better run through 1 and 2, and then passed him off of 2. That's how you get it done, and he is already gapping Brian Johnson by about 0.3 of a second. So Shane Davis wins last season, and he's looking to win here tonight. So 15 laps into 147 in this race. Got the stage at 45, so about 30 laps to go in this stage. And as far as big movers, I mean, Sean Rogers in that number, well, it says number 19, but it's actually the number 14. Hot Wheels Chevrolet, he has already made up 4 spots from where he started. But as you go further back into the 18th position, Chad Sullivan and John Bender, both those drivers have made up 15 spots from their starting spot of 33rd. So these guys are moving. They know how to get it done. But if you look out in front of Chad Sullivan, that is a lot of drivers you're going to have to pass. So you can hear just how much you have to slow down into 3 and 4 compared to 1 and 2. You're just almost driving it, blasting it into 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you have to, man, it's a scalpel type turn for sure. Battle here between Paul Gallimore and Randy Mullins. They're side by side, made a little contact with the wall, but the 54, Randy Mullins going to get that inside position, and Matt Cox is trying to find a way through, but Gallimore makes that outside work. Oh, he makes contact with the wall again. Randy Mullins has to take a little wide exit there to try to avoid him. You see Paul Gallimore really just making that outside work, but he's going to have to concede the position to Randy and now move Matt Cox into the aggressor position. Going to look down to the inside here. And Paul Gallimore drives it deep on the outside. Going to hold off Matt Cox for just a moment. You can see how close they get to that wall. And there it is. I mean, that right there, that's the most important part of this whole track. Everything else you can kind of piddle with, but right there off of 2, you have to nail that. And only the fast drivers are going to nail it. You see Matt not really exiting off of 4 down on the bottom, using that middle to upper lane. You get a really nice run off of 4, excuse me, by running maybe a little bit higher lane on exit. look at the run that you get. Look how much fun this is. Like a dang roller coaster. As they come off the corner, he's going to try to get to the inside. I don't know if he'll be able to make this pass. Gallimore's been really tough on the outside. And Gallimore going to gas it up. They make a little bit of contact, but Gallimore going to be able to hold on to it for now. Matt Cox gives him a little, going to try to dive it in there on him, but yeah, you see you can do that. Just that inside line in one, just not there. It's better just to wait and get it on exit. So Matt trying everything he can to get around this 11 machine. You fall struggling here in the middle of 3 and 4 for sure. He seemed really good in 1 and 2, and they're just so different that it makes sense. Matt going to try to sneak up to the outside. Oh, it's going to be tight. Matt actually gets into the wall. We'll see if Paul can hold it off the bottom, and he does. So Matt's going to have the position now, go around the outside and move Matt Cox up to 9th position up front. Shane Davis had pulled away just a little bit, but now here comes Brian Johnson right back. We talked about that tire wear being a big deal. Oh, caution is out. Oh, we got somebody going around. Jamison middle miss in that Ted Musgrave. Throwback is trying to get going, and boy, he keeps spinning up the track. Poor Gravity not having it. Still struggling to get that Team Watson Racing Setup 16 machine back going. Finally gets it up off the apron. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened to the number 16 machine. Got Kyle Holden, got the 82 on the outside. Kyle Holden right behind him. They come off the corner. Makes a little bit of contact there, but able to keep it going. We'll see right around. Oh, it just drives up right into Kyle Holden. And Jamison middle miss goes around, and that brings out our second caution of the night. So a pretty good run there. We'll take a look from on board with Kyle Holden. I mean, it's just so tight here, and tires are starting to wear for sure at about 25 laps. We're starting to really feel that tire wear jump, become more of a factor. And watch this, 16 just misses the corner here. It looks like everybody able to pretty much avoid him there, and just those two cars involved. So Kyle Holden been involved in a couple incidents so far. All right, expecting to see some pit road action here. I can't imagine anybody wanting to stay out. We'll see if they do come down pit road or not. Still about 20 laps to go in this stage, so I'd be interested to know. And, it does look like some guys did come down pit road. Brandon Bikey is going to be the first one off. It looks like he may have taken 2 tires or maybe 2 tires. He was on pit road for 9.2 seconds. So maybe 2 tires for the one machine. Alex Coffey, Shane Davis, your leader, comes down pit road. Tim Wortman may have taken 2 as well. Trying to get some track position for the end of the stage. I think the idea is that we will run to the end and everybody will pit again. So 2 tire strategies, trying to make up some spots quickly. I like the strategy. I think it's a good call. 20 laps on the right sides might work here. If your setup's good enough, the car's driving good, you could probably make that work. So we'll see if that does play out. Brandon Bikey will find out really quickly because he's got a lot of 4 tires from 13th all the way back to about 27th position. Came down and got a set of tires, it looks like. But Brian Johnson's going to continue to lead this race, and actually worked out pretty well for him as 11 cars are between him and any fresh tires, so he will have a chance to kind of pull away. I'd be interested to know if those 25 lap fresher tires are going to be able to get up through the field. They'll definitely be faster, but I don't know how much faster. So going to be a fun little run to the end of the stage here. I don't think we'll see anybody flip the stage today at Darlington, the tire wear is just going to be too much. I think you'll get eaten alive if you try to do anything crazy here. So we'll see what they decide to do. Take a look at the weather. Track temp's pretty good right now. 98 degrees on the track. That's pretty. It's not too cool. It's not like 72 degrees, which makes the track just really gripped up and feel kind of tight. And it's not 130 degrees where the track just is sliding. You can't find any grip. You're just overheating the tires really quickly. Right around 100 degrees. Seems like a pretty balanced spring day here at Darlington. So good day for racing. All right, Brandon Fetterplay's been hanging out in that top 3, running third most of this race. Now he's going to inherit the outside of the front row. And you got Paul Gallimore, Hunter Carmichael there down on the bottom. Hunter Carmichael's been having a lot of blinking issues. That makes you kind of worried, especially here at Darlington, where everybody's kind of running all over each other. So hopefully that does clear up and he's able to continue racing. It doesn't get dropped out. But all right, getting ready to go green. We'll have just over 15 laps to go in stage number 1. Been pretty good racing so far. I'm expecting to see the same as they get ready into the Geico restart zone. Barney, green flag in hand. Brian Johnson again with a fantastic restart as they go diving down into turn 1. Side by side, Hunter Carmichael, better place. Carmichael going to take second place quickly. Now, we'll go back here where Alex Coffey is, and this is your tire situation, and you can see it is a situation indeed. Cars all over the place. I don't think we're going to make it through this next turn. Look at this right here. Cars all over the place. The 19, the 14. They're 4 wide back here at Darlington. You can't do that. Matt Cox is in the wall just getting pummeled by the Hot Wheel. The Hot Wheel is off the tracks, and he is bouncing off of Matt Cox, but somehow they keep it together. I don't know how they did that, but they kept it together. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Alex Coffey ain't taking no prisoners as he is rolling on these 4 tires. Already up to 7th position in that number 15 machine. Corey Himes, first win, I believe, is what that's a throwback to. What a weird throwback. But the kid's like 19 years old and throwing back to his win. But, hey, that's okay. Right now, he's trying to work himself up here and try to get a stage win. He has not been, last lap, not that much faster. We're going to see as they cross the line. We'll see if he is able to make it, but he is catching them. Look how quickly he is catching them. Let's see the times at the line and see just how much faster those 4 tires are, because he made up a ton of time right there. Brian Johnson, 29.5. Alex Coffey at 29.42. So not a huge difference, but definitely enough that he has made a ton of moves. Go back here. Barry Sanders just kind of falling backwards here as that 88 machine needs a little bit of love, it looks like, to get this thing back rolling. He dropped a couple spots there. He started in 13th. I think he's just getting eaten up by those new tires, which I think is what it is. Randy Mullins just went by Shane Davis. Shane Davis has been leading majority of this race. So I think Barry just trying to settle in where he has, have that extra set of tires. But if you're back towards the end of that top 10, you're really struggling because you're constantly in defense mode. And those new tires can really eat you up, especially right now where they have gotten up to temp and they've got all that extra grip. So right now he's trying to hold off Wayne Bowen in the 77 machine. And right behind Wayne Bowen, you got Blaine Wilson. So this is a big group of cars as Barry starts to pull a little gap here. Take a look at his scheme. It's hard to say what's a drive-in hunger. But, hey, I love that as a Gordon fan as well. I think we got a wreck. Oh, man. It's like Blaine Wilson completely tore up. Like Johnny Shade might have been involved. Nick King involved again. And we got our 3rd caution of the night. Let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened to Blaine Wilson here. His front end is completely gone. We were kind of watching there as that was all happening. That's right behind Barry Sanders. He gives Wayne Bowen a little shove there off the corner. Going into the next one, Wayne going to pull up right in front of him, and I don't know if he just got hit from behind, but my goodness. It was tight right there. Chad Sullivan was behind him. We'll see if there's some contact made here as the 18 had to check up just a little bit. Yeah, when he did, Chad Sullivan was all over him, and they make contact, and man, whew. The 18's going to catch the wall here, and it's going to throw him around. Watch this. Oh no, he got hit from behind. My bad. I thought there was some weird something sticking out of the wall that kind of yanked him around. You can just see the contact from the 21. I mean, just incidental racing hard there, and then the 4, I believe, Jordan Schmeets just come barreling in there at the last second. And in Schmeets' defense, I mean, I don't think you'll be able to see much of what's going on here. Watch this. Yeah, he just could not see until the last moment. When he was trying to turn that wheel, he had the fronts locked up. And at that point, not much you can do. So Brian Johnson looking like a champ up there. Now that the caution has come out, we'll click off quite a few laps here. He's definitely not going to come down pit road now. You might see some guys try to flip the stage here. We're still going to run about 7 laps. I just don't know if flipping the stage is a great idea. Looks like Matt Cox is coming down pit road. Dean Motley is in. John Bender in as well. So we've got some takers. Going to try to maybe flip some track position, run at nearly a snail's pace. But I would imagine a lot of these guys are just trying to get some damage fixed. Looks like Matt Cox is doing exactly that. Been on pit road for about... Yeah, we'll see. He made some contact with the wall. Yeah, he's getting some damage fixed, trying to get that all taken care of. You need to get that done here in stage 1. You're going to run out of time as we are closing in on 100 laps to go. You're not going to have much time to do that for the rest of the race. And if you plan on winning this thing after stage 1, you better be moving towards the front. Don't have a whole lot of opportunities to make mistakes after this. So your highest running tire, new tire is Alex Coffey in 6th place. So that's going to be a nice reset for him. Let the tires cool back down. He still will have that advantage, and he can try to gain a couple spots here on this restart and try to get up there for this stage win. He'll be less a set of tires, but I think at 147 laps, I just don't know if they'll hit that tire limit at the end of this thing. So it's a long race. We could have quite a few more cautions, but I mean, if last year is any kind of indication, you're not going to have but 5 or 6 cautions. So I think Alex is going to be in pretty good shape. But we'll see if he can get up to the front. That'll be the real test here. Of course, I know a couple drivers who'd love to get that win. Ram Motorsports, that's Brian Johnson, John Bender, Paul Whitley, Randy Mullins. They'd love to get that dub here tonight in the Ram 200. Paul Johnson out front, been up front all night long. We'll see if he can get it done. Come off of turn 4. Green flag in hand, just waiting on Brian Johnson to hit that throttle. And there he goes. Green flag is out. Brian Johnson. Less than 10 laps to go here to get this stage victory. Chris Davis has inherited the 3rd position. Brandon Fetterplace has gotten beat on every single restart. And I don't know if it's just him taking it easy or if he's just not having good restarts. But that 34 car has lost a spot on the last 2 restarts, and now it's falling back from 2nd back to 4th. screaming down the front stretch here as we watch this battle between the 83 of Tim Wortman and Jeffrey Taylor, who is up against the wall, and he's just getting eaten up here. And I didn't get the camera up in time, but boy, he was frustrated there. Like, man, give me a break. Give me a second to get up the wall. Ooh, I don't know who that is. I don't think that might be Sean Kaltenbach that got into the wall and was struggling to get off of it there, but finally does. And Jeffrey Taylor finally gets himself back in line, going to let Sean Rogers go. Those new tires just frustrating Jeffrey Taylor's. It seems like he's sitting still, but he's on 20 lap. About 27 lap older tires, so just trying to hang on at the moment. Alex Coffey, though, up to 4th. He's only going to have about 3 laps to go, though. Does he have enough time to get up there and get the stage win? Or is Brian Johnson, who started 2nd, has been running up front all race long, is he going to be able to get the stage win here? Alex Coffey up against the wall. It may have made a little bit of contact, but gets a nice run here. Looking down to the inside of Chris Davis. Alex is going to have the position, and Chris wisely just lets him have it. Brandon Bikey going to run up on the back bumper. He's got 2 tires. You can see when you lift like that, what it does to the run and how much speed you lose. And Chris Davis actually said, hey, you know what? Arrivederci, just go ahead and have it. Now, does Alex Coffey on those 4 tires, does he have what it takes to get up there and take the lead? And boy, he is making a ton of speed. He was 0.3 of a second faster than the leader last time by. Now he's looking down the inside, and he's just not getting no fighting going on at the moment. And that's really good for him. He doesn't have to work too hard. Guys are just moving over and letting him have it. Coming off the corner. On the back stretch, he's got, I believe, could cross the line, and then after 10th place cross the line, they'll throw the caution. So we'll see when the moment of caution happens. Right now, Alex Coffey does have a run at the start-finish line. Down to the inside. They're racing for the stage win, and they're going to make contact. Brian Johnson, Alex Coffey. And Johnson's going to lose 2nd as they come off the corner. And Hunter Carmichael gets into the wall. They are really racing here as Brian Johnson was leading and may end up in the 4th spot. Still waiting on caution to come out. Brian Johnson falling quickly. And there you have it. And there it is. Alex Coffey takes the win. Wins stage number 1 with those 4 fresh tires. Carmichael comes home in 2nd. Bikey in 3rd. And Brian Johnson 4th. And Chris Davis in the 5th spot. Shane Davis comes home in 6th. Randy Mullins 7th. Brandon Fetter plays in 8th. Paul Gallimore 9th. And Sean Rogers going to be your top 10 in the stage. So stage 1 in the books. And Alex Coffey with that pit strategy is going to take stage number 1. So congratulations to him. Those will be really nice points to be carrying over. He came in tied with Matt Cox for the points lead. That will be very helpful to jump back and take sole control of that lead as Matt Cox finished that stage in the 30th position. So we'll see if anybody flips the stage here. I can't imagine it'll be too many folks, but we know all the leaders, everybody, even those who pitted 21 laps ago, should come down pit road. And I say that, but here Shane Davis stays out on the track. Interesting. Aaron Matthews going to stay out as well as you watch these guys come down pit road to make their stops. See the race off pit road, and Randy Mullins Looked like he might have taken 2 tires, snuck out there. So what we're seeing right now is not a whole lot of tire wear, it seems like. Seems like tires are not wearing that much. Of course, this is going to be even shorter stage from what we just had. So they're going to go to lap 90 for stage number 2. But I tell you what, as always, we got to bring Alex Coffey up into the booth and talk to him. And let's see what he says. Alex Coffey, stage 1 winner, up into the booth, man. Man, great run there. Able to get up with those tires. You come down to make that pit stop. Were you nervous about that call? Or do you feel like that was a pretty good strategy?
It just depends how many pit, really. I didn't want to be too far back and get caught up in some mess, but I knew speed-wise it'd probably work out if you could just keep it clean. I was kind of nervous when the yellow came out, if I'd run out of time or not, but we got there. Got into Brian a little bit in turn 1. I didn't mean to. I thought I left a car width up there. I don't know if I sent it too hard or he was just trying to keep me at bay or what, but definitely didn't mean to.
Well, it looks like you got some guys staying out. About 8 cars staying out here at the stage break. Now you got a lot of work to do, but how confident are you in that 15 car to get back up there to the front and get the win here tonight?
The car feels pretty good, but I'm definitely more nervous right now than I was at the last pit stop. So, yeah, just trying to survive. Hopefully, these guys can get it sorted out pretty quick and we can get some green flag laps in.
All right. Well, there you have it. Stage 1 winner, Alex Coffey, takes the stage. He's going to look to take 2 in a row and get that points lead back here tonight. But he's got a lot of work to do here. Starting 9th here on this restart. And Shane Davis going to be out front. Now, take a look at this car right here. Well, I tell you what, that was the talk of the town. Got the All About Sheet Metal sponsor on this one now. Man, what a great scheme that was. Really cool. I mean, so I don't really do diecast, but I am a Larson fan, and I had to order one of these. It'll be 3 years before I get it, but I had to order one. It's such a cool throwback scheme. I'm surprised it hasn't been done before, but really knocked it out of the park. And little Aaron Matthews here doing a little throwback himself with All About Sheet Metal on that number 5 machine. Of course, it might all be all about sheet metal going into turn 1 here. If you can get side by side and try to get to the outside of Shane Davis, the leader's gotten a pretty good start here, but it's going to be tough. But I think if you want to get out front, you need to do it quickly here and watch out for those tires that are going to be coming. These guys have less tires than what was up here before, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think Alex is right. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher this time. Shane Davis, Aaron Matthews, your front row as they come through the Geico restart zone. Shane Davis backs them up and then he gets down. As you see, it is a cluster right here into 1 as Aaron Matthews is going to try to block off that run, and Barry Sanders gives the 66 of Shane Paris a shove. They're going to go 3. Well, top 3 going to be single file, and here comes Aaron Matthews down to the inside, not waiting. What bit gets a nice run off of 2. He's going to try to slider it into the corner. The 79 going to try the crossover, the okey doke right off of turn 4, and Shane's going to have a nice run here. We'll see what he does with it. A little bit of contact back there in the back, but Aaron Matthews is going to take over the top spot in that number 5 machine. As, man, we got some contact going on back here. Some wall banging. Here goes Barry Sanders down to the inside of Shane Parrish. Shane going to back off. And it looks like, man, these guys are playing really nice right now, and you love to see that. But what we are noticing is that I thought that tire fall off would be a big deal, but it's really not at the moment. Tires are definitely wearing, but they are. It seems to be more heat sensitive right now. I don't really see lap times falling off a ton, and it seems like you can kind of equalize with new tires versus old tires. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of guys stay out. But we do have some caution. Casey Ryback and John Bender have gone around the 91 machine. Looks like it's pretty solid. Don't see any damage out of it. We'll see if we can go back and see what brought out our 4th caution of the night. The 91 there John Bender right in front of this. Let's see what happened to the 33. The 21 33 going to get tight off this corner. Here comes Casey Ryback, and yeah, wow, just a little bit of contact there and sends them both around. Back and see exactly if we can find. Yeah, just a little bit too close there for Casey. On board with the 91 here. Gonna see this little bit of, just gets a little too close right there. And both of them gonna go around, but hey, I'll tell you what, that could have been way worse. None of them got contact. Nobody else was involved in that one. So not a bad little deal there for those guys. I mean, obviously you don't want to go to the back, but it could be much worse, especially with no fast repair. But yeah, I mean, I think in Casey Ryback's, you know, you don't want to get that close. In real life, you can kind of lean on somebody, but in iRacing, racing on a computer, racing online with somebody, you have to give a little bit extra room. And I think he was just trying to side draft a little bit too closely. And once you make that contact, it's going to send them around almost every time. Derek Pemberton gets your lucky dog, so he's going to go around and get the lap back. So everybody pretty much out on the lead lap. I don't see anybody to lap down now that Derek has gotten back on the lead lap. The only drivers to lap down is Matt Mackin, who's 47 laps down. Darren Mills, Steven Gibson, all those drivers out of this race as they were involved in that lap 3 kerfuffle. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us here tonight for the Ram 200 throwback race here at Darlington in the Moonshiners Racing League, OB Builders Cup Series. And hope y'all are enjoying the broadcast. I'm enjoying y'all. I don't even know who y'all are, who's in. I see Kelly Coffee in the chat. I see Amanda Price. So definitely appreciate y'all being active in chat, letting us know who you're pulling for. That sure does make them feel good. And I know they appreciate the support. But we definitely appreciate your support. If you're new to the V-Speed family, I hope that y'all are enjoying the broadcast. If you have not subscribed, I say, hey, it doesn't cost you anything. All it is just click on the button. You can actually just accidentally click on it if you want to. Just kind of click around until you accidentally click that subscription button. But all that does is up our numbers. It gets us into the algorithm. When anybody searches iRacing, league, broadcast, any of that stuff, guess what? Your race will pull up. And your league and other leagues like yours who are solid. Every league that's in V-Speed is one of the better ones out there. We pick and choose which ones we like and which one we want to broadcast and what would put on a good show. So we don't really have too many stinkers out there. So if you like what you see here, you might like another league that's it's got some different cars and different tracks. A lot of stuff going on here at V-Speed. A lot of really cool work that folks are doing, and everybody works well together. So definitely worth checking out. Glad to be on the main channel finally, and putting on some good racing. Well, all right. Woo! We've got just over 30 laps to go, about 32. Once we take the green flag, it's been a lot of cautions here. So if you're going to make moves, you better do it quickly. Wayne Bowen has not been a stranger to making moves here on restart. So we'll see what that 77 can do. And Kyle Holden, even though he's been involved in 2 wrecks, is somehow up into the 5th position. So Aaron Matthews this time will have control of the restart. We'll see what he can do here. Green flag is out. Aaron Matthews does get a great jump. Barry Sanders almost gets to the inside of Shane Davis. Going to have to fall in line in that 3rd position, as right behind him is where all the action is happening. Look at these guys just trying to make it through the corner. Woo, tight there between Alex Coffey and Wade Bowen as they almost wide it up there. Alex has to get out of the gas, and that's going to allow Alex Holden to take over that spot now. Kyle Kyle going to look down to the inside. Not quite able to do it. Now Alex going to have a big run. Kyle going to guard it. Go down to the inside. Now Alex Coffey just sends it. Hey, Tyler Reddick, that's how it's done right there. Off of turn 2. Watching as, another caution is out as they fan out all over the place. Casey Ryback, Nick King, Chad Sullivan, Paul Gallimore involved in this one. So caution. Back out. So far, 6 cautions on the night. Well, 5 really. One of them being a stage break. We'll go back and see what happened between these drivers. See Paul Gallimore there on the outside. Going to make a little contact with, I don't know who that was. And then just kind of gets sent to the moon. Go back and see the number 8. That's Garrett Crawford. Yeah, it just got really tight there. And poor Gallimore just continues to get turned sideways. But, I mean, obviously not that much damage. You know, I mean, it does no good to see it from the same angle. Let's try another one. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm firing the cameraman. I don't know who it is, but I'm firing him. Going down to the corner. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 guys coming together. There's really nothing else to analyze about that. And just fighting for the same real estate on a track that is just unbearably difficult to run side by side with unless you're a professional. And I don't know if any of these guys are professional racers, but it's tough for even those guys. Well, you know, the strategy really hasn't changed all that much. Alex Coffey has not really been able to crack the top 5 just yet. I think he needs a little bit more time to get these things going. Every time these cautions come out, the way the track is seemingly working at the moment is that it's all about tire heat at the moment. We're not seeing a whole lot of fall off where the times just quickly disappear. So every time we get a caution, these guys who have stayed out, got older tires than Alex Coffey, about I would say 15 laps maybe. They're getting a chance to cool those tires back down, and Alex Coffey doesn't have an opportunity to really make any moves with those 4 tires. So while they do have a tire, he does have a tire advantage. I still think these cautions are allowing the cars to cool those tires down. They have a lot of grip. Needs to get about 5 to 10 laps really to get the heat into the tires, and I think that's when Alex will start to come alive and start to make some moves. But we just haven't gotten that yet. And, you know, when we're having a lot of wrecks and guys are not getting tore up, you know, it's really, really hard to keep it going. Each car is variable here in this field, and right now we have 38 cars on the track still racing. And you know, the more cars you have on track, more opportunities you have for incidents, accidents, and as the field, you know, like last week, I mean, we lost a ton of drivers in a few weeks in the past. There have been some really, really big wrecks that have taken out a lot of drivers and cuts the field about half. And when that happens, you have less and less caution just because you have less variables. What am I talking about? I don't know. Am I talking about math? What am I doing? We didn't even talk about racing here. We're at Darlington. We're in the Cup car. We got throwbacks. And here I'm talking about variables. Get out of here. If I start talking about fractions, I want somebody just to pull the plug on the stream. We're done if we're talking about fractions. All right. Well, 63 over, 147 laps left to go. Aaron Matthews is going to have control of the start again in that beautiful Terry Labonte Kellogg throwback. Was able to get the lead, hold on to it for just a bit. He's got 10-lap fresher tires than Shane Davis. Shane Davis, Shane Parrish, both the Shanes up here have the oldest tires out of the bunch. So can Aaron Matthews get this lead, hold on to it, get a stage victory? We'll find out. And coming off a turn 4, pace car does pull off for getting ready to go green. Everybody on their feet in the stands. Barney, green flag in his hands, waiting on the go. There it is. Aaron Matthews takes off. Everybody up front quickly gets in line. Barry Sanders looking a little aggressive there. Thought about maybe trying to sneak into the inside. Couldn't quite do it. Right to the back bumper of Shane Davis. And right there in the middle of the corner, you can see the difference. Shane's going to get a nice run off the corner. But you can see, I mean, it's so difficult. Where are you going to put the car? You think, well, he just go left right there and go under. Well, he's not going to get the run off the corner. You have to time it just right. Right now, though, Shane Davis putting the pressure on the 5 car. I know the 5 would love to see Barry get up there and battle with that 79, take the pressure off, but Shane Davis peeks down to the inside, kind of showing that, that front bumper. These two starting to pull away just a little bit. Got kind of a 5-car breakaway. As here comes Alex Coffey. Those tires should be up to temp now, and he should be on the attack here as we'll go on board with Alex here. Got a run here, not quite what he needs to make the move. Oh, you can see he's got so much more throttle, but he just can't use it at the moment. All about timing. He is working on it right now. He's trying to time exactly when to get the run. And wow, he had a run, but now the 66 gets a run on the 88. So now Alex going to stick it up in there. Oh, boy. I don't think Shane was really expecting it. And, boy, they had to check up quickly. And now here comes Wayne Bowen with a big head of steam. But luckily, Alex going to be able to jump down to the inside. Stage 1 winner. Trying to move forward. Shane going to fall back a little bit. Here comes Wayne Bowen down to the inside. Can they make the move? Alex Coffey going to hold on to it for now. And you can see just that little exchange, how much time they lost to these front 3. As Barry Sanders putting all kinds of pressure on the 79. Those 10-lap older tires really making him struggle. Well, it's been a good race. I'll tell you, there's been a lot going on, and I think there's still a lot more to come. As, man, look at Barry Sanders up on the outside trying to make it work. Could not do it. Had to check up just a little bit. Take a look at the driver cam. You don't see these guys doing too much, man. They're so focused. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you're racing online, you can see them relax just a little bit there. But, man, you are tense up the whole time because you are trying to run the same line. You're trying to give little small inputs. And your muscles are tensed up the whole time as you're driving down the corner. You're trying to make sure the steering wheel stays where it needs to be, but also you're hitting the throttle, working the wheel. You're trying to make those small, ever so slight movements on the throttle, on the steering wheel to make the car do what you want it to do. And it requires so much focus to do this and do this well. Looks like it's a video game. You looks like, oh, he's going to give a little shove there to Shane in the middle of the corner. But it looks like it's just a video game. But I'm going to tell you right now, those of you in chat outside of maybe Kenny Coppola who just typed in chat, it's a lot harder than it looks, and I would love for you to get on iRacing, take a spin, see if you can make a lap around Darlington and do it as fast as these guys do it now. Do it too wide. It is difficult. And we will watch as Barry Sanders is going to try to sneak up to the outside. Does he have the run? He does. And so he will take over second spot. Shane going to fall in right behind him because Alex Coffey was a-coming. Look at Alex Coffey right up against the wall. 4 tires. You can see the difference as the run goes on and the heat gets in those tires. Shane, 48-lap old tires, now starting to feel it as Alex Coffey going to drive in, do a little slide chop. Shane has nothing to do but to just lift and let him have that spot. So Alex Coffey, the fastest car on the track, and you can see just how much it takes until you can get these new tires up to temp to where it really matters. And we're just a few laps into this green flag run, and Alex is coming alive here. So running really quickly. Barry Sanders is going to throw a block, and Alex says, oh, I don't think so. Jumps down to the inside. Not quite able to do it just yet. And, ooh, caution out on the speedway as Caden Orfrey in that 20 machine is sitting down on the apron. He's trying to get it off the apron. Not able to do it. Team Conti GG at Home Depot throwback to the 20. And let's see what happened to Caden here. I think he's battling with the 91 Casey Ryback on the V-Speed replay here. Caden going to look down to the inside, and we'll see where that contact may have happened. Oh, it looks like the 91's going to get into the wall. These are teammates. Make contact, and both of them just goes around. So Team Conti 20 and 91 make contact, and that brings out our 7th caution of the night. Well, it looks like we're not going to have any pit road stuff here. So we're going to pull Aaron Matthews, who's leading right now with just a little over 10 laps to go in this stage. Aaron, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Eddie. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. That All About Sheet Metal number 5 Kellogg's Throwback is looking mighty fine, I will say. I think that's a great scheme. It looks pretty fast out front right now. You've been leading the way. Got those little bit fresher tires, and Shane Davis able to take the lead. And out front, how's that car feel?
Yeah, I got to thank my buddy behind me there for the paint scheme, first off. But other than that, this All About Sheet Metal Chevrolet is doing pretty good. I'm kind of concerned about Alex right now. He's got about 11 lap fresher tires than I do. He's probably going to get me and Barry both on his stage here, but I think we'll have something for him towards the end of the race.
Well, I mean, you had a pretty good strategy call, and the tires don't seem to matter as much as you'd like to think. They matter a little bit. So how does that affect how you're going to strategize that final stage if you are able to get the win, or at least a top 2 or top 3 in this stage? How does that affect how you attack that final stage?
Well, I know half these guys are watching this broadcast, so I better not tell all my secrets.
I like it. Well, all right. Well, Aaron, I'm going to let you go, let you get back to your teammates, and, man, good luck here in this final stage, or the second stage.
All right. Thank you, Eddie.
And I put him back in a chat, and I'm going to be honest with you, don't know if it was the right one, but he'll be talking to somebody to be the wrong person, and we'll all know together. So, well, right now, Aaron Matthews has the top spot. Barry Sanders right behind him in the second. You got Alex Coffey, Shane Davis, Wayne Bowen, Kyle Holden, Randy Mullins, Sean Rogers, Shane Parrish, and Chris Davis is your top 10. Should get the 1 to green here, and then we'll have about a 10-lap shootout to the end of the stage. I can't imagine it's going to go caution-free. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, back here at the Ram 200. One to green. And Aaron Matthews, Barry Sanders going to start here on the front row and battle for a stage 2 victory. I mean, honestly, though, you don't want the win too bad, I don't think. I don't think you're willing to wreck here. I think if you're in stage 2, if you're racing to lap 90, that final stage is going to be pretty quick. I think I just want a good stage 3 starting spot. So I don't know how hard I'd be willing to race here. I think I'd try to be clean and take care of my car here and try to get to that final stage. I don't think a stage 2 win is worth all the hubbub. But I tell you what, let's crank it up. And caution is out there spinning. Brian Johnson, Justin Belmont spinning. I'm trying to click on them, but they keep falling through the running order. Brian Johnson and a couple others, I think, spun out and brought out the caution. But Brian Johnson, who was up here leading, has gone around. We'll see if we can see what happened. It was a Hornet's nest back here. Watch this on the replay. The 44 and the 6 here running side by side. Going to come off the corner, see what happened to them. Oh, you can see a contact happening behind them. And then the same thing that happened earlier where they just made a little bit of contact on the left rear. And that was Ed Bowles Jr. who went around back here in the back. So similar wreck earlier that happened up in front with Brian Johnson. And then it's the 38 and I believe the 17 of Nigel Christensen. Christensen's going to get to the wall. And the 8 of Garrett Crawford gets into Ed Bowles Jr. and sends him into the wall. And that brings out caution number 6. Well, a really good... honestly, this is really good. Alex Coffey was getting down to the inside of Barry Sanders, and so the caution came out at the perfect time. And this going to allow laps to click off for Aaron Matthews. He's going to be able to just ride around the last few laps here under caution and get about a 4-lap shootout, I would imagine, when we go back green. To get this stage victory. Now, this caution does bring into some strategy. We got Brian Johnson coming down pit road, Caden Orfrey, Nick King, Ed Bowles Jr., obviously those guys with some damage. But Kyle Holden came down pit road, got 4 tires and fuel, obviously looking to flip the stage. So the 59 coming down pit road with some strategy. He's been fast all night long, found himself into some traffic here. Now he is going to try to flip the stage here. If you don't know how flipping the stage works, we got a caution so close to the stage, but they're going to run about 4 or 5 laps. Well, what Kyle can do here is just ride around. He's in the back anyway, kind of ride around, take note of who took tires that's around him, and then flip the stage once it comes out. Now, there are some drivers who have already done that. Hunter Carmichael here in 17th. He came down about 6 laps ago. Will likely flip the stage along with Matt Cox, Brandon Bikey, Blaine Wilson, John Bender, Paul Gallimore. All those guys likely will do the same. But, right now Kyle Holden is back in the 27th position. So if he can come away with a top 5, top 6 after flipping the stage, probably worth every bit of that. So It's a good strategy. I like it. I like the idea of flipping the stage and getting track position at the cost of maybe a little bit less, fresh tires, fuel, could possibly be an issue. But I think these guys can make it probably 60 plus laps on fuel. So I don't know if that'll be an issue, but we'll see. But this passing is so hard here that if you can get a bunch of positions like that, that's probably a good way of doing it. Kelly Coffee says, a perfect time for who, Eddie? Well, it was a perfect time for Aaron Matthews, perfect time for Barry Sanders, because Alex Coffey was making that move. And what I was saying is that Aaron doesn't have to defend here because he's running under caution. So he doesn't have to burn his tires up. Barry Sanders doesn't have to defend here. Alex Coffey is helpless here at this moment because they're running around under caution. But he will have about 5 laps to get it done. He is in a pretty good spot. Alex Coffey is third in line there on the bottom, right behind the leader. You kind of lean on the leader's bumper, kind of push him along, and once he goes, you'll have a little bit better advantage. So Barry's going to have to be on it pretty quick if he's going to fight off Alex Coffey. But 5 laps is quite a bit of time around here, so Alex was able to get it done last time. He just bullied his way through last stage. We'll see if he's willing to do that again. But I think if you're Aaron Matthews, if you're Barry Sanders, I think you're thinking about this final stage. And stage wins are nice, man. Actual wins, race wins, much better. We'll see what they can do here. Aaron Matthews with control of the start. Barry Sanders a little bit out ahead, trying to time it just right into the Geico restart zone. And, man, it's so tough to do that on the outside. It just lagged a little bit on the pedal, and Aaron Matthews gets away quickly. And Barry going to fight as hard as he can on that 15. The 15, just barely going to be able to take over the second spot. So now Alex Coffey up to second. Shane Davis gets a big run. After those two were side by side, Aaron Matthews has about a 0.5 of a second lead. As, Shane Davis, Barry Sanders make a little bit of contact here. Now Alex Coffey has just a few laps to hunt down Aaron Matthews, who is still going to be pretty quick. It's going to take all but those 5 laps for the tires to really come up to temp for Alex to be able to make use of those tires. But he is starting to make it happen right here. How hard will Aaron Matthews fight? That's the question I have. I think Alex is going to get there, and look at how much he gained a ton of time there. As, we got cars going around. Garrett Crawford, no caution, but, they are all over the place back here. Oh, there they go. Warren Young, Brandon Bikey spinning. No caution. No caution as they spun out of the groove. So we'll go back up here to the front. No caution yet. We'll see if a caution does come out. Those guys better get going. They do not want to get lapped here with just a few laps to go. You see the smoke. Here they come off of turn number 2. Can Alex Coffey get it? He's got about a lap to get it done. Going to get up right up against that wall to get the run off the corner. And he gets it. Is he going to take the dive down to the inside? Is he going to follow the 5? What will he do? Going to follow him into the corner. They race around, and then they throw the caution when the 10th place driver crosses the line. What will Aaron Matthews do? Will he block? He tried a half block. Going to take the outside, though. Try to fight him off on that outside line. The 5 gasses it up. Maybe gets a little bit of the wall, but they come off of turn number 4. Alex Coffey has a nice run, but Aaron Matthews with a better one. Eddie's got position. Down in the corner, Alex Coffey has to settle for second place as Aaron Matthews is going to take stage number 2. Alex almost got it done, but a great defensive driving there for Aaron Matthews as he had the position, did not get baited into blocking and giving that outside line to Alex Coffey, as that would have been all she wrote. So Aaron Matthews will take stage number 2 here in the Ram 200. So pit stops looming here as we have just a little over 50 laps to go in this race. And it is going to be a wild finish, I'm for sure. Everybody going to be on equal tires. Who has what? And we'll see about those drivers who may try to flip the stage here. So we'll see how all that plays out as well. That should start around the 17th position. Matt Cox is in 15th. Will he flip the stage where they all come down pit road? But I know who is coming down. It's Aaron Matthews and the rest of the top 10 as they need tires for that final stage. Matt Cox stays out on track. Sean Kaltenbach is going to stay out as well. There you see him as they go around. Brandon Bikey, who we saw go around just a few minutes ago, he's going to do the same thing. So it is going to be, it's going to be sketchy for sure. Four tires and fuel will likely be the call here. 2 tires, I don't know, that might be a little egregious here with so many laps to go. I'm not sure if I like that call, especially with that many laps. But we'll see what these guys decide to do. So far, 4 tires for everybody is. Here comes Aaron Matthews going to lead the way, and then you see Alex Coffey right after him. So everything pretty much as they were. But up front, the guys who flipped the stage, Matt Cox, Sean Kaltenbach, Ed Bowles Jr., Jordan Schmeetz. Matt Cox has 16 laps since he came down pit road. Likely did not race very hard there trying to do that. Sean Kaltenbach with 15 laps on his tires. Then you got Ed Bowles Jr. with 10, along with Jordan Schmeetz, Kyle Holden, who we talked about. Brandon Bikey with 16 laps on his tires. Justin Belmont, 10. Nick King, 9. Derek Pemberton is 8th. Glad to have him back, Derek. Glad to have you back, bud. Brian Johnson, who was up front all race long, got a fast piece in that number 44 machine. He is got 9 laps on his tires. So we're really going to see a shakeup in the race here for this final stage. And I'm going to be honest, I like this strategy. I think we've seen 10 to 15 lap old tires do just fine, and I think that Matt, Sean, Ed Bowles, all these guys are going to be in pretty good positions. And if you're Alex Coffey, if you're Aaron Matthews, Shane Davis, all those drivers who've been really, really fast up front, I think it's going to be difficult to get back up through the field. Well, we'll go through a little bit of driver cams here. Brandon Bikey with his VR headset on, running in that 6th position. And somebody we haven't talked about much tonight, Chris Spear. He's back here in 22nd. You got Kyle Holden. He's up here in that 5th position. Had his cam rolling for the last couple weeks, so we definitely appreciate that. And then, fellow we hadn't talked about much at all tonight. And I know, whoa, Lord of mercy, as he was inside somebody when I went to him, Tim Wortman Jr. So he's got some work to do. Back in 23rd position. But we've seen him get it done before. We'll see if he can do it now. Matt Cox, though, one of your points leaders, him and Alex Coffey, dead even when it comes to points. Now, Matt Cox does have the 2 wins. He's going to go for 3 here. All right, final stage here at Darlington. Who's going to get the victory? I don't know. We've still got a ton of cars in this race. Into the Geico restart zone, and Matt Cox going to get a great jump. Kyle Holden kind of falls back there on the restart, did not get a great jump, and the battle is going to be from second on back. Sean Calton back, gets a good run. Jordan Schmeets, though, overcorrects into the wall. This is going to be tough. Barry Sanders goes around. There goes Wayne Bowen. Oh, massive wreck back here. Hey, track blockers, they're still wrecking. Randy Mullins. And Wayne Bowen with a lot of damage to that 77 car. That was a big wreck, and it all happened. You saw, we'll show you a couple things that happened there, and then it started here with Jordan Schmeets, who got into the wall. And we kind of didn't quite get it there. Let's see. Goes down in the corner. He's going to make, now he's going to get a little bit loose here. Yeah, starts to get a little bit loose. Then trying to catch it, goes into the wall. And then the wreck just, look at it behind there. It's just everybody all over the place. And then we'll kind of watch as Barry Sanders was where the big part of the wreck happened. He was back outside the top 10 after that pit stop, running up front. And he just gets loose as he was trying to avoid Schmeets into the wall. He can see the 7 here bouncing off the wall. He's trying to go down, but when he does, there is a car there. See there, that 88. Schmeets is going to be bouncing off the wall here, and the 79 was there, and they're both, just, him and Coffee, just trying to avoid it. And gets tagged, and then it's just, my goodness, so many cars just flying in. The 8, big damage. He has been involved in quite a few incidents here tonight. On board with Crawford here. You know, you wonder, you sometimes wonder, and I'm not picking on Garrett because it happened. A lot of folks were doing this. Is he just took him so long to start to lift here? I mean, the wreck was happening and just was wanting to maybe roll through it, pick up some spots, and when you do that, that's exactly what happens right there. I mean, it's going to close up quickly, and you're going to have a lot of damage. So I don't know if he probably regrets kind of trying to roll through that wreck, and it's got big damage on that 8 machine. But, man, look at Wayne Bowen. Got a ton of damage to that machine. So another big one here. That was a complete track blocker. There was a lot of folks that were involved in that particular wreck. Barry Sanders, obviously one of them, where it all started. Chris Spear was involved, Chris Davis. Blaine Wilson, John Bender, Randy Mullins, Sean Rogers. I mean, ton of guys. Garrett Crawford. Hunter Carmichael has called it quits. A lot of folks involved in that wreck. That took out a lot of good drivers. And that's that stage flip there. I mean, Barry Sanders has been close to the front all race long. And then the flip happened. And I'm sure he's flipping off people right now. So, not happy, that 88 machine. Well, after that, your new tires running in 10th and 11th. They really weren't able to make up much ground there, and like I said, it's gonna take a few laps for those new tires to make a difference. If I'm Coffee and Matthews, I'm really just trying to keep each other in sight. I know that as the run goes on, if we were to get maybe a green flag run to the end here, they would still have the advantage all the way to the end. But you don't want to let one or the other kind of get away, because that's really who you're battling here. But even with the older tires, I still think it's going to be really difficult to get up through that many drivers here at the end. But Matt Cox going to lead us down to another restart here with just 47 laps to go. Still a lot to happen here in this race. Green flag, back out. Sean Caldenbach actually gets a pretty good start there. Oh, man, they're still bumping and banging. The 82 of Pemberton up against the wall, still bouncing off the wall. Other drivers nowhere to go. One guy's going down to the inside, but they're able to keep it going. As it looks like that's Shane Parrish, who goes down and hits the inside wall in that 66 machine. So tough break for him up front. Everybody's starting to get single filed out and see Nick King has gotten that. What the heck does that say? What? A bruisey. Well, good looking 24 scheme. You know, not my favorite Gordon scheme, but it's iconic. I know it's the one car that I remember when I first became a NASCAR fan as a young boy. This is the car that I just loved. I love the colors of it. When you're a kid, you just bright colors. That's what you care about. And so Gordon was my driver from a very young age. And this is an iconic paint scheme. He's had some pretty good ones. Gordon's scheme's not that great. I think Pepsi schemes mostly were pretty terrible. But if you do like interesting schemes that nobody talks about anymore, why don't you go to 2007 Talladega race. Talladega race at, I think it was I can't remember if it was the spring or fall race. But he had the flames with the blue and the Pepsi scheme. Probably one of my favorite paint schemes of his. It was a split year when they had the COT and the old Gen 4. Go check that one out if you've never seen it. That's probably one of the best looking Gordon schemes out there. Outside of that, he had some pretty stinkers. But it didn't matter. The driver of the team was so dang good that you paint it whatever you want to. I mean, at some point they just painted it blue and put a Pepsi logo on it and called it a scheme. I mean, it was ridiculous. But right now, Nick King making it look good, though. Alex Coffey right behind him. Aaron Matthews not really been able to make up too much ground, but we'll see as this run continues on if they're able to get forward a little bit more. Man, they're getting wild up here. Some Kyle Holden, the 38 of Ed Bowles Jr., they kind of got checked up in the 6. Justin Belmont, a little bit of luck behind that scheme is that's your race-winning scheme from Sunday is, ooh, Kyle Holden does not have a great turn there. He's going to lose 2 or 3 spots because of it. Oh, the 5 Aaron Matthews going to get sandwiched here. Makes a little contact with the 6. Oh, Nick King gets put into the wall by Alex Coffey. Big hit to the right front of that 24 machine. Well, these guys are racing up front. It's a 3-car breakaway. Matt Cox, Sean Caldenbach, and Brandon Bikey. We saw Bikey go for a spin and didn't know if his tires were going to be okay, but seems to be doing all right as they're side by side for the 4th position. Very close there, but Justin Belmont does have position on the 38. Ed Bowles is kind of getting eaten up at the moment. Ed actually just kind of said, y'all just go. God, just take it. He's going to fall all the way back to likely about the 8th position. But up front, it is tight. These 3 breaking away, which is what they need to do. Settle it between you 3. Because you don't want those new tires to get caught up. Aaron Matthews up to the 5th position now. But at this point, Aaron is in very similar tire situation. I don't want to overstate the tire difference. I think the 5 has a really fast piece, but I think the tire situation is, you know, about 10 laps, so it's not a huge deal. But we'll see if that does play a factor here at the end of this run. Right now, Matt Cox trying to pull away, but Sean Caldenbach, Brandon Bikey, they're just running nose to tail at the moment. Oh, and Matt Cox going to get it to the wall. Woo! These two teammates. Sean cuts him a break a little bit as Brandon Bikey was going to definitely try to jump on this. These two out front are teammates. Brandon Bikey in third. Not a part of their team. But what they would like to do is not spend a whole lot of time battling here. As they battle, all that's going to do is pull these other guys right up to them. You can see getting side by side. Brandon Bikey able to join quickly, catch up to them. So if you're going to battle, you need to make it quick, as Justin Belmont, Aaron Matthews will be on them in a heartbeat if they do. But I think that's what these guys want to do, kind of riding the line and let Matt Cox pull them along and kind of stretch out from these other drivers. But, man, I'll tell you what, it definitely seems like this 5 has a fast car. And he's trying to put it to use here. Thought he was going to make a little move here on Justin Belmont. Couldn't quite get it done. Last time by, Alex Coffey, fastest car on the track. We've seen him be really good at the end of these runs. He has been doing really well at saving the tires. It seems like he's going to take a dive down to the inside of Kyle Holden. About 10 lap fresher tires that Coffey has. So Coffey now the field's starting to spread out other than this little gaggle right here from about 15th on back. But if we could stay green right now, Alex Coffey is scooting. And he's got about a little over 33 laps to go in this race. Is he going to have enough time? You know, that's one thing. You know, this tire saving strategy worked for Brad Keselowski. Was doing really well until, you know, a caution came out that kind of ruined that strategy. So right now he's got the advantage. He's just trying to keep that track position. And he's catching them just ever so slightly. Matt Cox hit the wall a minute ago. Almost made a little bit of contact with Sean. They've kind of got back into single file. And Brandon Bikey just kind of waiting in the wings. A lot of cat and mouse games that go on right now. I mean, they can see the relative. They know how close the other drivers are getting. And Belmont, Aaron Matthews is there, and I think Bikey can feel it. Now he's going to look down to the inside, takes a dive, going to take over that second spot. Sean Kaltenbach concedes it without too much effort. Alex Coffey now 1.7 seconds off of the lead. As it's now a 5-car little battle here for the lead. Just a few laps to go, 30 to be exact. Now Brandon Bikey now on the hunt, knows that he's got to go. Feels like he's a little bit faster than the front, these front two. Still a long way to go, but Cadeau, caution is out. John Bender around. The 16 of Jamison Middlemiss also with a ton of damage. And caution flies again here at Darlington. Take a look at the replay. They were running side by side here. '16 drives it into the corner. Going to drive it in a little bit too deep. Four-wheel slides it. Makes contact with the wall. And as they come off the corner, they're going to make contact with the wall again. Comes right across the nose of John Bender. And they made contact, and caution comes out. It's weird. We saw a couple drivers slide all the way down to the inside wall and didn't bring out a caution there. Seemed like it would have been a similar fate, but I think maybe the 16 was still out on the racing service enough that iRacing decided to throw it. And these two obviously not happy with each other. So, interesting calls as everybody's coming down pit road. I did not expect to see too many folks come down pit road, but they are. This is going to change a lot of stuff going on. I mean, this is going to be wild. Alex Coffey comes down pit road. Everybody up front comes down. this will likely be the final stop, but Sean Rogers in that 14 going to stay out. And from what I can tell, he is all by himself. He's going to have 20 lap older tires, and man, that is going to be a tough position to be in if you're that 14 machine. We got to get his number right. He's been the 14 in here, and he's got a 19 car. We got. Well, you know, you kind of bummed if you're Alex Coffey, if you're Aaron Matthews. With those fresher tires, you were always going to have the advantage. And, yeah, that kind of goes out the window here as everybody comes down. Gets 4 tires. Shane Davis in the 79 machine takes 2 there. I don't hate that call. Tim Wortman takes 2 tires as well. Shane Davis, last year's winner. Trying a little strategy to get some track position and go up there and try to get this win. But Brandon Bikey is going to have the fresher tires right behind Sean Rogers. And now Alex and Aaron are just on equal footing from these guys, so it's going to be tough. I mean, at this point, saving is really out of the window. I mean, we're going to go green with probably, I don't know, probably 23 laps to go. That's not enough time to worry about tires. You definitely don't want to slide the rears and get so loose you can't put the power down. But outside of that, I think it's hammer time. And it's time to go. You do not have a whole lot of time to play around. And especially if we do get some late race cautions, these caution laps just click off, and you just lose opportunity to pass cars. If you're Alex Coffey, Aaron Matthews, I think you got to make wild moves to make this work. Because I think we're going to see a few more cautions before this thing's over with. But either way, I think you got to go. I think you get that track position, be up front, be inside the top, top 4 really. Because if we do get a late race caution, it's going to be difficult to make anything happen outside of that. So Shane Davis making the right call, I think, with those 2 tires. He was really, really fast. We'll see what that thing does up here at the front again. But Sean Rogers is going to be the leader. And the good thing about all of it is that Sean is going to be able to get a good jump here, get out front, let it get settled. But he's got a whole field of fresh tires behind him. All right, this is the time we've all been waiting for, the run to the finish. Gonna have 25 laps to go here as they come down into the Geico restart zone. Sean Rogers gets a good jump, exactly what he needed to do. Gets out ahead. Brandon Bikey's got the 79 of Shane Davis all over his back bumper, pushing him into turn 1. And we're going to see what those 20-lap older tires are going to do here in the next lap or so. As, man, Sean Kaltenbach, they kind of get bottled up here in the top 10, but get single file. Somebody's loose back here. Multiple drivers. They're going around. Paul Gallimore, the 20 of Caden Orfrey, goes around. The 7 just barrels it off in there and hits the 20. And we saw that happening. It's just cars banging off each other. Not a surprise there to see that here on this restart. Go on board with Caden Orfrey and see what it looked like. I think it's just going to get tight down here, trying to get off this exit. Gets loose. When he does, hits Randy Mullins, hits Gallimore, and there's somebody else spinning back there. And then watch the 7 here. Just, couldn't see anything. Bless his heart. I mean, golly, this is going to break my heart to watch this. But Chris Spear, watch on board. I don't think he could see what he was about to hit when he pulled out. Watch this. All right, they're starting to wreck out in front of him. He can't see squat. This is from his point of view. They all wreck down to the inside. He thinks, okay, I'm good. He's checking up. Let me go to the left. There's a car there. Golly, that just, burns me up. And a pretty nice paint scheme, too, that's all toe up now. But you got to wonder. You got to wonder. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, look, if Chris, if you go back and watch this, look, I get it. And I know what I'm about to say is probably going to make you mad. Because I'm gonna give you both sides of it. Right here, he's going to see the wreck happening, but he doesn't know. He thinks it all down to the inside. It's towards the end of the race. He's trying to gain as many spots as he can, and he thinks, oh, I got it. And then when he pulls out, just trying to take that little extra spot, that's where that damage is. And it's so easy for me to go back and watch this, but golly, it just makes you wonder if I just not have checked up just a little bit. But to be fair, again, it's so hard to know what's on the other side of that car. He couldn't see anything. And when he pulls out, just boom. So tough break for Chris. Like I said, Chris, don't be mad at me. I was just breaking down the wreck. But he's going to come down pit road, going to lose a little bit of damage. I mean, in those scenarios, you don't really know what to do. You're trying to gain as many spots as you can. You don't want to just come to a complete stop if you don't need to. And just trying to make those split-second decisions, and just did not work out. Kelly Coffey in chat said, what would you have thought about Alex or Aaron staying out? You know, I don't know. It's that's a tough call. We've seen tires matter, but not a large amount, not enough that you know. The times have been about 0.3 better on fresher tires versus 20+ lap old tires. So I don't know. Track position is going to be important. Alex Coffey, though, in the 4th position. So I think he did all right. I think Aaron Matthews still in 7th. It's just about what lane you get in and how it moves. So right now, Alex got to feel pretty good about his decision. But I don't know. I think if my car is fast and I'm in the top 10 or in, close to right outside the top 5, I think you come down and get 4 tires. And I'd rather be on the attack than to worry about. I don't want to be in Sean Rogers' position, I guess is what I'm saying, which is I got to go, and it's likely I'm going to get eat up at some point. So Sean Rogers really at the mercy of the caution laps. If he can get caution after caution after caution, it doesn't matter. He's the control car. He's got a lot of power here. If we go 3-4 laps, caution, 3-4 laps, caution, I think Sean Rogers has a pretty good opportunity to put that Hot Wheels car in victory lane. Oh, it's not. It's beast mode. Excuse me. Well, it looks like this time Sean Rogers going to take the outside line. And I think that's really, really good for Alex Coffey here. Is he's going to be able to get a good jump. He's leaving a lot of gap here, but Alex could use this to get to the outside of Brandon Bikey, and that could be a very, very nice start to this race. And, man, wow, they really checked up the whole line, and Alex Coffey a beneficiary to that. Through turn 1, though, Brandon Bikey gasses it up. Does he have the 15 clear? I don't know if he does, and Alex Coffey going to go down to the inside. Bikey gets a little bit loose. Justin Belmont down hard into the inside wall. Big, big hit for the 6. But up front, Brandon Bikey, what a great drive that was to hold on to that second position, as Alex had the best groove, but he just drove the heck out of it and held him off. And now he's going to set his sights on the leader. Those fresh tires now coming alive after a couple laps. I think Sean Rogers in trouble here. Looking down to the inside goes Bikey. Can he hold him off? He's doing a good job. This is where Alex Coffey can strike. We saw him go 3 wide before. Will he do it? No, they're wrecking behind him. John Bender involved. Oh, multiple drivers involved. Belmont is out of this thing. I can't click on him. Chris Davis involved in this wreck, and that was a large pileup. Watching the 29 of Chris Davis here. They're all spreading out here right in front of him. 3 wide. I can't see who that is. I have no idea. Try to get a better angle here and see who that is. It's the 13 of Johnny Shade who goes around. We'll back it up just a little bit. They were 3 wide. And he kind of gets sandwiched here. A little bit of contact with the 69, and when that happens, boom, goes around. Nick King involved, the 29, of course, involved. And caution out yet again. Well, you know what? I'm going to try to pull Sean Rogers up into the booth. It says Sean Rogers, number 79. He's got the 14 on iRacing. He's driving the 19 car. Sean, this Eddie in the booth got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Well, man, it's going great. And the racing has been incredible tonight. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. But you got the lead. You got 20-lap older tires. And these cautions are coming out. You're going to have about 15 laps to go. What's the strategy here? How are you going to hold on to this thing and get the win?
I'm just going to do the best I can with what I got. You know, I've had a tough race. I've gotten caught up in a lot of wrecks. So this was my only shot. So I was just like, hey, let's see what happens. So hope these cautions. I know a lot of these guys don't want the cautions, but I might be one of the few that would be fine with having one every couple laps. Hopefully, I can keep this.
Yeah. Well, you've been involved in a few incidents, and now you're out front. You've got control of the restart. You know, how you change it up? How do you kind of go back and forth to try to make sure that you keep them on your toes behind you?
Just gotta keep mixing it up in the restart zone, and I'm driving with everything that this thing has left, and wherever I end up, I end up. But it's gonna be better than where I was if I hadn't done this. So that was kind of the thought process.
All right, I love it. Well, we'll see if you can get it done. Good luck, Sean.
Appreciate it, man.
There you have it, Sean Rogers. You can tell he's giggling. He's excited. He's happy. That's what you got to do in this. A lot of times we try to make it seem like actual racing, and but we're racing on a computer, man. If you're not having fun, what are you doing? You're wasting $13 a month, and however much money you spend on cars and tracks. And if you're buying from a setup shop, you're spending that money too. If you sign up for a league that requires you to buy in, well, you spent that money too. And if you're not having fun, man, what are you really doing? So it sounds like he's having a good time. He's good with whatever happens here, and if he gets a win, boy, I can't imagine how excited he'll be. It should be that'd be a lot of fun, but gonna have a lot of work to get it done. He's gonna need those cautions, I think. Brandon Bikey has been really fast here tonight, and that number 1 machine is looking strong, and pretty much everybody behind him is a stone cold killer. So we'll see if he can hold on to it. Ram 200 has been exciting so far, and we're getting down to closing time. And we are getting ready to go green. Sean Rogers, can he hold on to it? He's got the outside again. Likes to enter turn 1 on the upper side. It looks like coming off of turn 4 into the Geico restart zone. Sean Rogers backs him up. That's going to give Shane Davis on those 2 tires, I think, a really great line here. We'll see what Bikey and them do. He would like to pull those drivers side by side. He wants Shane Davis to battle here. Woo, Shane. What a run he got. Here comes Alex Coffey. Shane gets a little bit loose off the corner. Bikey going to go up to the outside. This is Sean Rogers. This is music to his ears. These guys battling side by side. Oh, but caution. Oh, the good. Jefferson middle miss. Again, Johnny Shade. Quit wrecking. Let's go back and see what happened. See one driver just pull off on exit there. We're looking at Johnny Shade. A lot of tore up race cars, a lot of damaged cars in this little group. Well, contact with the 8. And they're 3 wide, my goodness. And Johnny Shade just comes down. They're 3 wide, but I don't think that mattered. Johnny Shade just kind of came down the track. I don't know if something happened or what. Gonna kind of see him. Here goes the 29 of Chris Davis, and I gotta see that again. See the big checkup right here. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure what happened there that made Johnny come down the track, but when he did, calamity. Amanda Price in chat saying, "Go Rogers." Well, he's doing it. And exactly what he wanted to see happen is happening. I mean, great start for him. They were battling side by side for second. That's exactly what he wants to see happening, because those old tires don't matter when you're able to run the actual line, and they're running side by side, having to check up on entry and on the exit. So perfect start for him that time. I don't know if he can reproduce it. I don't know if he had much to do with it, but if he can try to have that happen every single time, he's got a good shot. And these cautions keep coming. And I mean, you know, I'm a broken record, but I'm telling you, in these situations, you want these cautions, because these are free laps. He's not burning his tires up. He doesn't have to defend. He gets to lead all these laps while we're under caution. And we're going to get down to under 10 laps to go in this race, man. Woo, it's going to be a wild finish. I can just feel it. Well, I mean, Brandon Bikey, Shane Davis, Alex Coffey, Aaron Matthews, Kyle Holden, Sean Kaltenbach, Tim Wortman. I mean, all those guys feel like they still have a chance. So you have to, even though it's 10 laps to go. But I think if you're not in the front 2 rows, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult, because any position that you try to take, any pass you try to make, in any move you make, I'll be watching you, but it'll be difficult to pass and get to position quickly. You'll end up battling side by side for so long that, all you're going to do is slow each other down. It's tough. If you're not able to make the pass quickly, it's going to be tough. So I think that's why you want to be in the first 2 rows if you're going to have time to get up here and take the lead. There's just so many moving parts here. You've got the old tires of Sean Rogers. You got the 2 tires of Shane Davis. Brandon Bikey is on fresh tires, 4 tires. Yeah, there's just a lot going on here. It looks like the pace car gave birth to a car a second ago. All right, getting ready to go green. Gonna have just 10 laps to go in this race. Sean Rogers, the control car, again. Got a great restart last time. Can he do it 1, possibly 2 more times? Maybe 3 with a green-white checker. If you're Sean Rogers, you're so nervous because everything has to go right for you to win this race. And did he use all of his luck up last time? Well, we're going to find out here. Here we go. 10 laps to go at Darlington. Everybody on their feet into the Geico restart zone. And another great jump for Sean Rogers. Pulls Alex Coffey even with Brandon Bikey for second. Oh, and Bikey actually blinks out a little bit. And Bikey able to take over second spot. That's bad news for Sean Rogers. Oh, and caution comes right back out. Sean Rogers is fist pumping right now as caution comes back out. We'll do another 3 or 4 laps under caution, and he'll get another chance at making a clean restart and another chance at trying to get this win. Let's take a look at what happened. Wayne Bowen seems to be involved. I mean, he's got no front bumper, and it's just dog eat dog back here. Oh, the 91 just kind of gets loose going into one. It goes up. That's Casey Ryback. He has not had a great race. He has been involved in quite a few things. Been a tough one for that 91 machine. I think actually might have made contact with his teammate at some point. So the 91, although it looks clean, been a tough race for him. Alex Coffey in the chat giving the win over to Sean Rogers, feeling like they can't do anything. It's a helpless feeling knowing, I mean, if you're Brandon Bikey, it's just such a tough deal. You know, you've got the fresher tires. You just need the time to get up there and try to make the move on the 1979, whoever it is. As Matt Cox comes up. I think that was Matt Cox coming up to say hello, I guess. 32 going to get back on the lead lap. He got caught up in an incident, I believe. Or, I don't know if he was speeding or something because he did come out of pit road at a wonky time. So I don't know if he had like a penalty of some sort. I don't get that kind of information, so I can't tell you that. I can only assume. So I don't know. Well, I mean, there's nothing more for me to say other than what's already been said 100 times. I mean, Sean Rogers is loving this. Brandon Bikey hates this. Just needs a couple laps. And frustration a lot of times can build over. And you kind of go, hey, you kind of key up on the mic. Hey, guys, can we keep it clean for a couple laps, And it's, yeah, you jump all, you type it in, say, guys, let's keep it going, let's run to the finish, and it just never works out that way, I don't think. So we'll see what they can do. This time, Shane Davis is Sean Rogers' best friend at the moment. Shane Davis in chat, Brandon Bikey in chat with them. They're all on the same team. But if I'm Sean Rogers, I'm telling Shane in private message saying, hey, I'm going to go right here, so follow me. And I want those two to be side by side when the green flag comes out, and I want to get a good run and pull away. So that's what I'm hoping for, because that's worked the last couple times. Well, the time before last, actually, Bikey got a great jump, got around Alex Coffey, and got single file there before that last caution came out. So this time Sean would love for that 79 machine to get to the outside of that one as it go down into turn one. Well, I want to thank our sponsors, OB Builders. The OB Builders Cup Series. And I want to thank everybody for doing throwback schemes here tonight. If I didn't show off your throwback scheme, I'm sorry. It's okay. I do the best I can, but I'm sure you had some awesome schemes out there. There's dadgum 43 of you. I can't show them all, but I think we got most of them. Really cool throwback race here at Darlington. Always a lot of fun, and man, we're gonna have a great finish here. Whew. Gonna be 5 laps to go. Win would take the green flag. Sean Rogers with this strategy, 20 lap older tires, been able to hold on to the top spot here. He's going to have to do it yet again here on this restart. Brandon Bikey, what does he do? Does he try to jump the start? Does he try to time it a little bit better? Sean going to continue to go at different points of the track. Here they go into the box. Sean Rogers gets a great jump, and whoa, Brandon Bikey did not get a good jump at all. The 79 pushes the 14, but the 79 gets a great restart, and that might be trouble for Sean Rogers. Down off of 2. Here comes the 79 down to the inside. Oh, Rogers not able to hold him off. He's going to get to the outside, but I think the 79 has the lead, and he does. Here comes Bikey. Oh, they're wrecking behind him. John Binder, Randy Mullins down on the inside. No caution yet. We stay green. As Sean Rogers holds on to second place for now. Contact with the wall. And Shane Davis with 2 tires takes the lead with 4 laps to go. Brandon Bikey, Alex Coffey got to do something quick here as the 19's going to check up. Here comes the 15 with a big run. Oh, the outside. Oh, the 19 gets turned. All of that work undone as he gets spun by his teammate, I believe. Brandon Bikey down to the inside, and he immediately pulls the trigger. Alex Coffey was able to get by for second place. 3 laps to go. Does Alex Coffey have enough time? He's really going to have to hammer down here to catch that 79 machine. As they cross the line, 2 laps to go. Coffey about a 10th faster. Is that going to be enough? He's going to have to find a little bit extra. Good run off of 2. He's going to need more, though. He's going to have to find a little bit more. He's driving it deep into the corner, shifting down, trying to get as much as he can. Do we get the white flag? White flag in Barney's hands. 1 more lap to go for Shane Davis. Through 1 and 2. They're side by side behind him. Aaron Matthews, Sean Kaltenbach making a little bit of contact. But here's the race for the win. Down into 3 and 4. Alex Coffey sends it into the corner, makes contact with the wall. Lap car down on the bottom. Doesn't matter. Shane Davis with 2 tires takes the victory here at Darlington. Brandon clobbered the lap car. Hey, I love it. Wow. Well, there you have it. Your winner, Shane Davis, takes the victory here at Darlington with a great finish. Able to get by Sean Rogers. Unfortunately for Rogers, I mean, he makes contact. Makes contact with Brandon Bikey and goes around, and he, instead of holding on for that second or third spot, he's going to come home in 27th. All right, well, let's go back and look at this contact between Bikey and Rogers. And if we can't go back a little bit more and see what happened between those two. Gonna see, gets a good drive off the corner, and yeah, I mean, you know, obviously did not mean to do that, but I mean, they just got too close. We've seen that happen a couple times, just racing hard and getting really close. And, you know, iRacing has a tendency to kind of yoink the cars together, and it's just so close right there that iRacing registers as a contact, and fortunately for Sean Rogers, gets into the wall. But what a finish. What a race here at Darlington. And, man, I tell you what, I can't wait to talk to these drivers, see what they thought about that. But I tell you what we'll do. We're going to go to another short break. We'll come back for the results. We'll talk to the drivers, and we'll get you those good interviews. So we'll be right back. Well, all right, back here at Darlington, let's take a look at your results. We'll see who finished where. And, well, we know the top three. Shane Davis, Alex Coffey, Brandon Bikey, your top three. Kyle Holden comes home in fourth position. Aaron Matthews in fifth. Sean Colton back in sixth. Blaine Wilson seventh. Brian Johnson in eighth. Tim Wortman Jr. in ninth. Jeffrey Taylor rounds out your top 10. Got Jared Clark, Paul Gallimore, Chris Davis, Garrett Crawford, Chris Spear, Derek Pemberton, Wayne Bowen, Matt Cox, Warren Young, Ed Bowles Jr. rounds out your top 20. 21st is Nick King. Hunter Carmichael in 22nd. Justin Belmont in 23rd. Casey Ryback in 24th. 25th, John Bender with Paul Whitley in 26th. Sean Rogers, man, disappointing, comes home in 27th. 28th is Jamison Middlemiss and Randy Mullins in 28th as well. 29th, I guess. Johnny Shade in 30th. Caden Norfrey in the 31st position. 32nd, Dean Motley. Jordan Schmeets in 33rd. 34th, Barry Sanders. Shane Parrish, 35th. Brandon Fetterplace, 36th. 37th is Nigel Christensen. 38th, Chad Sullivan. Matt Mackin in 39th. Darren Mills in 40th. 41st, Stephen Gibson and Matt Medler. And that rounds out your field. 15 cautions here tonight. A lot of stuff going on, but man, I'm ready to talk to some of these drivers, and man, we'll get up here and we'll talk to them as soon as they get in here. Looks like we got Shane Davis, so let's bring Shane Davis up into the booth. Shane, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, man, congratulations on the victory, man. That was awesome. I mean, a great call there for two tires. You ran up front for most of the race, kind of got mired in the back with some different pit strategies going on. You made the two-tire call. Did you feel like that was the right call when you made it?
Yeah, I knew it was going to have to be a two-tire call. Passing here was so hard that the tires just really didn't matter. I thought everybody would kind of follow me in at the end of the stage or middle of stage one there, and nobody really did. So I had to flip stage two, and I took it pretty hard to get back into some stage points in stage one. So I didn't think my tires would hold up, and luckily there was just no passing with no tire fall off in stage two. So I was able to maintain fourth, and I finally took a set of tires, and I sat around about 15th because everybody flipped the stage, just babying it. And so I knew that my lefts were still pretty solid, and so I knew two tires had to be the call there.
Well, and y'all kind of played musical chairs for who's going to start to the inside there on those last few restarts, and it just seemed like the perfect time for you to start behind Sean that time, because most of those restarts, I mean, it's been, you know, the second and third place driver ended up side by side, but you were able to push the 14, 19, whatever one, Sean Rogers out front and able to get clear and kind of set your sights. But kind of, I'll go back just a little bit. How agonizing was those last few cautions? You had about a lap and then a caution, a couple laps of caution. How agonizing was that as laps were just ticking away down to the end?
Oh, when I seen the leader choose the outside, I was like, oh man, I am absolutely screwed. And then me and Coffee just kept flip-flopping back and forth, and it's just hard to get a jump off of the leader, and that inside guy just has such a disadvantage there. And I got really, really lucky. I timed it just right with Rogers. When he mashed it, I mashed it, and just got really lucky there, and was able to clear Brandon into one, and that was the race right there because Rogers was doing a really good job on 25 lap older tires, which is unbelievable, and he was just able to make the pass with a good run.
Well, once you got out front, it was just it was easy peasy, and you got to sail away to the victory. So, I mean, not much to say after that. We've covered it pretty well, and man, congratulations on the win. That was awesome. A lot of fun to watch you. I mean, got to feel nervous towards the middle part of that race, but able to come out with some great strategy and get the win and put that number, what 79 into victory lane. So, congratulations on that. And hey, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Yeah, just got to thank all the teammates. I haven't been running very much lately. I've got a few teammates that's been trying some different sets and let me know feedback and whatnot. And so just them on the feedback, and I got to thank my brother and my wife for always supporting me. And that's about it.
All right. Well, there you have it. Your winner here tonight, Shane Davis, takes the victory on 2 tires, and he'll win here at Darlington, and he'll hold on to his. He won last year, going to win again this year. Well, let's bring in your second place finisher, Alex Coffey. Won the first stage, but man, that last little bit had to have been very frustrating, Alex.
I'd say it was just back to back cautions the whole last 25. Couldn't If you're starting on the inside, you're pretty much done for. So felt like we had the quickest car, but didn't. Quickest car don't always win the race.
Yeah, it seemed like it was tough during those. You got the stage one win, and then people were flipping stage, all kinds of tire strategies with the amount of cautions that we were having. It really just kind of made, you never could make the right call. It just seemed like, not you, but anybody. It seemed like every call you made came with some sort of consequences, and you got mired back outside the top five a couple times, just trying to take your time, and it seemed like you would come alive. After about 15, 20 laps, but we never really got that kind of run. Do you feel like if we had a bunch of long runs, you could have run away with this thing?
Oh yeah, I think if we would have green for at least 20 there at the end, I probably would have been in real good shape for that, but never got to see it through. But yeah, I mean, just by the time we'd get up to speed, yellow would come out, and I don't think it would. I could never see it in my mirror, so it had to be back past 15th or whatever. So wish guys would settle down sometimes and let things play out how they're gonna play out instead of trying to force moves and get themselves in trouble.
Well, when we're talking about points, and I know points don't matter to most folks, especially as we're about midway through the season. I mean, you're gonna take the points lead. You did get the stage win, and Matt Cox, kind of had a tough race, came back in 18th, so that will give you the points lead. But I know at this point, points lead really probably doesn't matter too much to you. Getting that win is going to be numero uno as far as importance goes. So I mean, your takeaway, getting the points lead, but still kind of missing out on that win. Kind of what your takeaway is. We're getting about halfway through this regular season.
Yeah, definitely like a win. Points lead's nice, but uh, guys who got wins rank ahead of you, even if you are in points leader with no wins. So the car was definitely the strongest I've felt all season tonight. Felt like we were in real good shape to get that one. Just wish, like I said, wish we'd got to see it through.
Well, another good finish for you. You've had some great finishes all season long. Still waiting to get that win, but just like in real life, you run in the top five over and over again. That's gonna come. So, looking forward to see when that day you finally get that win. I know it's coming soon, but man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Oh yeah, shout out to Carby's Print Company. If anybody wants embroidered hats, you can use code Coffee15 at checkout over there and get yourself 15% off. Shout out to Reaper Speed Labs, Dig Esports, my teammates Blaine, Johnny, and Nigel. Uh, You for the broadcast as always, and my mom for watching, and everybody puts the league on.
All right. Well, there you have it. Second place finisher, Alex Coffey. And you could hear it. I mean, just, man, disappointment coming home in second when you feel like you had the fastest car, and those cautions just so aggravating if you're in Alex Coffey's shoes. Tough deal. But that's just the way the race went. And so let's bring in our third place finisher, Brandon Bikey, who last week's winner come here tonight at Darlington, and it was not an easy race at all. There's a lot of cautions here tonight, but that one car looked pretty fast, no matter if you had the best tires, the worst tires, or somewhere in between. How was that one car driving here tonight?
We were bad fast. Kenny Coppola's setup was on rails, so appreciate that greatly. But yeah, what a night.
Well, I asked Coffee about this, and I know it's got to be frustrating there at the end. You were kind of a sitting duck there for a while because you knew he was always going to have control of the restart, and you were just going to either have to guess wrong and get a black flag, or just kind of fall back into the hands of whoever's on the outside of that line. What could you have done differently on those restarts, or were you just hands tied about all those cautions just over and over again?
Yeah, my hands were completely tied. There's nothing I could have done different other than just trying to wall him. I mean, I feel terrible for getting into him. I came up a little bit too much on the backstretch on the last couple laps, but as far as the restarts go, it was just honestly, it was just a shitty race. I mean, it was crap. I can't. We've got really high quality drivers here, and really disappointed in the level of driving tonight entirely. So it is what it is. Sometimes, I guess, shouldn't be at Darlington. There's plenty of room out there.
Yeah. Well, you got the win last week, so you're good as far as playoffs go. And I know third place doesn't feel good when you feel like you had a pretty fast car, but I mean, talk me through that middle part of the race. I mean, y'all seemed to even on those older tires, that was sort of the most surprising thing in this race, and I think the track temp had something to do with it. But tire wear didn't matter that much. It's a little surprising. You could run about 15 to 20 laps and still be competitive. And it seemed like after about 10 laps of that, it would start to show up. But what did you notice out there as far as the tire wear and how that all was working out?
Tire wear was fine. I mean, I flipped the stage in stage two, going to the final stage, and I really just didn't run the tires very hard at all. And we really only had about 6 or 7 green flag laps on that tire set. So I was maybe 6 or 7 laps, like I said, to the bad of all the people that pitted on the stage break. So, and I took it easy even coming out of that stage. I was really easy on it. And I think if that would have run out all the way, we went green that whole last stage, I think I would have been the winner easily because I was tracking down the top 2 guys, and my car was handling perfectly. So, like I said, it was absolutely on rails. So.
And I think at one point you spun out and then flipped the stage or something like that and stayed out and still had one of the fastest cars. So that one machine was fast again this week. You got the win last week. I know you'd love to have gotten 2 in a row, but hey, getting a win, getting a third place finish, that's a damn good couple of weeks. So, man, congratulations on that finish. And man, always, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
Well, I want to thank all my teammates at BMP. Congratulations to Shane for getting his win. He's just had some bad luck this season, but he's super fast. He'll be up here running with us every week that he's here. So awesome to see him up in the lead there and taking that win. But, BMP, it's the greatest group of guys there is in iRacing, I think. We have the most fun. So really appreciate, their support. And, Shane and I ran probably an hour and a half of Darlington before tonight's race just to really lock down the setup, and it showed with the finishes there. So want to definitely shout out to him for the help. And then I want to thank my wife Lindsay. She watches or she supports me doing this, watches my races back with me. My dad watches a lot of these, my friend Bryce. And then thank you for everything you do, and Barry Sanders for putting on the league. It's usually a lot of fun. I do want to make a call out to the guys to just let's be better, and let's have some better races moving forward. That no reason this needs to happen like it did tonight.
All right, well, there you have it. Third place finisher, Brandon Bikey, with a, a frustrating end to the race, but still a really, really good finish. And I'll tell you what. Whew. Well, I tell you what, maybe it was frustrating for them, but dadgum was a lot of fun for me. And want to thank our sponsors, OB Builders, for the Cup Series. Want to thank Ram for the Ram 200 here tonight. And I'm Eddie with V-Speed. And that's going to be it. I mean, Darlington, he gave you every bit that you wanted, racing all the way through the field. Lots of, different strategies, trying to make it work with the tire wear not being what it normally is. And you saw the product as we had a guy with 20 laps on his tires trying to make it work at the end there. Just couldn't get it done, but so close. But tonight, it's all about Shane Davis, who gets the victory. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm Eddie Smith with V-Speed. If you're not subscribed, go hit that subscribe button. Cannot wait to see the way the rest of the season is going to go. We'll see you then.